So this is about sampling. Sampling means forward direction, continuous time to discrete time conversion. And equation 1 is the mathematical form of this sampled signal. Xs of t, we are giving representation for sampled signal, Xs of t. Xa of t, we are giving representation for analog signal. Any analog signal you can take. This is x-axis, horizontal line, what I have drawn is x-axis. Y-axis, you can take it somewhere here, you can take y-axis, okay. And there is a waveform over here, and FM is the highest frequency. All this we are assuming, FM is the highest frequency, and we are converting it into discrete time. And other side, equation 1 I have written directly, without derivation I have written directly equation 1. That is the sampled signal, discrete time signal, because you are multiplying with del of t inside the signal, inside the system. Inside the system, del of t is the impulse train present. Inside the system, impulse train is present. Okay. When you are multiplying this two, g of t and del of t, when you are multiplying this two, g of t and del of t, we will be getting the sampled signal, and that's why the delay is present. Okay, that's why the delay is present. So I can show that in another color. When you multiply both of this delay is coming. This is exponential Fourier series representation of sampled signal. Exponential Fourier series representation of sampled signal. So Ck is exponential Fourier series coefficient or constant. Exponential Fourier series coefficient or constant. Okay. And if you see, this Fs should be equal to 2Fm. Fs should be equal to 2Fm. Just 1 minute. Fs should be equal to 2Fm. That is our sampling condition we have to maintain. Fs equal to 2Fm, sampling condition we have to maintain. The sampling frequency should be 1 by Ts, and already 1 by Ts is nothing but Ck. So directly Ck equal to Fs also we can take. All these are forward direction operations. Now coming to the reverse direction, it is called inverse sampling. We are converting discrete time to continuous time. There is a system again for this conversion, and that is a very simple system, low pass filter. H of t is the system behavior, system characteristics, H of t impulse response of this system. And if you apply Fourier transform, that is H of j omega. If you draw the diagram for low pass filter, it will allow only lower frequencies, and 0 to t is the lower frequencies. All the higher frequencies are rejected. If you see low pass filter, this is the frequencies allowed. 0 to t only it is allowed. Above t, everything is off. So lower frequencies are allowed. The shaded region, these are lower frequencies are allowed. I am shading only on the positive side. Similarly, negative side also you can shade. That is not a problem. Okay. But bandwidth calculation will be done only for the positive frequencies. Bandwidth cannot be negative. I cannot say my height is negative. Height will be always positive. My weight also always positive. Like that, some particular parameters, it will never be negative. Okay. So like that, bandwidth cannot be negative. So negative side we cannot consider for bandwidth calculation. However, I'm shading only on the positive side for that reason. Negative side also, with respect to diagram, we will be showing it. Okay. And allowing lower frequency means that is the low pass filter. H of j omega is the representation of low pass filter in frequency domain. It is also called spectrum of low pass filter. This is also called spectrum of low pass filter. Now, that is a rectangular pulse. I am going to the other side. It is a frequency domain representation. It is a rectangular pulse. I am converting it to time domain using inverse Fourier transform. For a rectangular pulse, if you apply inverse Fourier transform, that will be a sampling function. Okay. And it will have a main lobe. Maximum amplitude is somewhere here. And on both sides, the amplitude gets reduced. This is the general diagram of sampling function. Okay. And if you see why I am discussing all that, this will be present inside the system. Now, whatever we know, the sampled signal, whatever we know, I will take another color just. The sampled signal diagram we already know. The shape of the signal will be same as that of input frequency, and we have to draw the perpendiculars. We have to draw the perpendiculars. This is the sampled signal, discrete time. From the continuous time, we are drawing the discrete time. This is sampled signal xs of t. And now that diagram we are sending inside the system. That diagram, okay, discrete time signal we are sending inside this system. Inside the system, the sampling function is already present. Inside the system, sampling function h of t, I have done the diagram for h of t. This is the diagram of h of t. This is present inside the system. Now, whatever coming out, the final diagram, analog signal is nothing but original input will come out. Original input will come out, okay. This is what happens in the inverse direction, inverse sampling, inverse sampling. We are converting discrete time signal to continuous time signal, okay. So this is about sampling and inverse sampling. This is otherwise called as, this is also called as reconstruction. There is another name for this. This is also called as reconstruction process in the sampling. This is also called as reconstruction. What we are reconstructing? Original analog signal we are reconstructing. This is our original analog signal. Okay, original analog signal. Above this horizontal line, forward direction sampling is there. Below the horizontal line, reverse direction reconstruction is there, where from the sampled signal we are getting back the original analog signal. I have explained the whole process, how it happens. There is a lot of derivation behind this. I have done only with the diagrams. Behind this, a lot of derivations are there, which we are not discussing in this session. Cos 4t. Now coming to the solution, we are supposed to calculate Fs and Ts. Okay, we are supposed to calculate Fs and Ts. So x of t equal to, you take it a cos omega t. A cos omega t. Now what is omega value? What is omega value? That we have to calculate. And then these are our three questions. We are supposed to calculate Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. The first question we have to compare with the standard form. First question we have to compare with the standard form. Given question is 3 cos 4t. This is of the form a cos omega t. So a value is 3 and then omega value equal to 4. Okay. So Nyquist frequency omega s is nothing but 2 times. This is the maximum frequency. We have to take it as omega m. So 2 times omega m is the sampling frequency, and it is 2 times 4, which is 8, and here we have to give the units as radians per second. Radians per second. This is Nyquist frequency. Okay, omega s or this type of omega s, it is one and the same. Now if I take Ts, it is 1 by omega s. So 1 by 8, it is what we can do 0. Okay, 125 seconds. 0.125 seconds. Okay, so this is about the first problem, calculating the Nyquist frequency and Nyquist rate, Nyquist frequency and Nyquist interval. This is Nyquist frequency. This is Nyquist interval. Nyquist interval. I am going to the second question. Compare this with the standard format a cos omega t. So a value is 4 and omega value is 3 by pi. Omega value is 3 by pi. This is same as maximum frequency omega m, Fm or maximum frequency omega m. We will represent. So omega s is nothing but 2 times omega m, that is equal to 2 times 3 by pi. So 6 by pi radians per second is the frequency. Now coming to time, it is inverse of frequency. So pi by 6 seconds. Pi by 6 seconds. So we will stop here for this session. Third question, we have two terms. We have to calculate maximum frequency considering both the terms, final overall maximum frequency, that we will continue in the next session.